Okay, welcome guys. We're back. All right, so just start off by reading the comments. Thanks also for everyone's kind thoughts over the last few days. It's been quite harrowing, but at least we've sort of got everything back where it should be. I've still got still trying to get a lot of my videos set from private now across to make them public again. So I was just doing a bit of that just before I started here as well. So slowly we'll get to all of those. Sorry, we'll just go through. So we've got hi Sithal, and then Nazfo is saying howdy. Thomas is saying hi as well. Naz is saying I should use Daz's last video at work, just training on how to not to get scammed. Actually, I'd be showing it to how to get scammed. It was funny. I showed my wife that video. She was looking at it, and she did actually pick up that there was typos in that first email. That I completely missed it. There was actually like a little typo in the in one of the first sentences, and I completely didn't see it. She had to point it out to me actually and say, "Look, they've got the S around the wrong way." Anyway, there we go. Hi Baseline. Rogue saying we're back. Glad to have you back, Daz. Thanks for that one. Quiet Sprints is saying hello, greetings from Lake Constance. Lake Constance, where's that? Not sure where Lake Constance is. Is that Canada? I'm just not sure where that one would be. Hi Battle Mode, how you going? Marco, hi again. And Jamison saying good evening, Daz. This live stream is way better than the cryptocurrency live stream during the hack. I don't even know what videos they put up, to be honest. It's sort of one of those things where I should actually try to find out more about it, what they actually tried to do. Saying welcome back. Good, you could sort things out. It wasn't me. It was actually Team YouTube. They were incredible, actually. They were absolutely incredible. I'll talk a little bit about them, but they were just amazing. I'm so glad. It's sort of funny because the algorithm has killed me off for so long. Actually, that's one of the other funny things that came up. Actually, Ben saying that, or Battle Mode saying, typically you turn it into a 40-minute tutorial. I was just going to show what actually happened, but then in the end I thought, look, it may be helpful if somebody, because it took me a while to find out that I could go through Team YouTube. What did we get up to? Yeah, bloody hackers, says Baseline. Yeah, no, that was a pain in the bum. And then Bob was saying, hooray, happy for the recovery. Try not to use the 12345 as a password again. I had a pretty good password. That's a weird thing. But I let everything go because I basically had given them access to my my account on my computer, which is not good. So yeah, so this is saying I bought so many cryptocurrencies during the stream. Now I'm rich, yay! So they tell me. I'll tell you a little story about how I nearly got scammed with cryptocurrencies, but I'll tell you that a bit later on, maybe if I remember. So no timestamps though on the hack video. Well, it was all taken down. Everything was taken down and deleted. I basically had to tell them what my last upload was, and I do actually have all that information, so that was good. Watch Prince is saying, oh, Germany. Okay, so Lake Constance. It sounds like an American name. So there we go. So Germany, Austria, Switzerland, sort of on the border there. Interesting. I've never heard of it. I think I have heard of it, but I've never equated it with any particular location. And Battleman's saying, yeah, I bet that's a beautiful place. So I think it would be too. And saying, Quite Princess and saying, quite having the Alps in the background, that would be really, really quite nice. I would imagine that the water in Lake Constance would be pretty damn cold. Too cold for swimming, I would imagine. I bet you there's some German sport where the Germans all go for a swim in Lake Constance in the middle of winter or something like that. I would almost bet money on it that would be the case. The Germans are sort of known for doing that sort of stuff. I would assume it would be them and not the Austrians or the Swiss that would actually do it. But anyway, I could be dead wrong. Just from what I've come across with Germans in the surf. So Quite Prince is saying you're quite right. You are right. There we go. Yeah, we should look that one up. Anyway, let's. I guess we'll just get started. And in the speedos says Battle Mode. Okay, yeah. I wouldn't be at all surprised if it's something that the Germans would do. So so actually Dusty Monk saying, just waiting for you to announce Dazcoin or BitTactic. That's a good one. I nearly got scammed once before with cryptocurrencies with Elon Musk with one of his launches, and because I really love watching the launch of the of any of the rockets actually that go up. Yeah, Dascoin lol says battle mode. Hi Nurad, how you going? But it's sort of funny, like, and so I was watching that, and then there was this thing that came up because I know that Elon Musk is right into crypto as well, and so this thing came up where he was making a special offer while the launch was on, and I fell for it. Like I didn't actually. I went up and asked my wife if I could actually invest in it, just to double check. I was almost just going to do it, and then she said, "No, that sounds like a scam." And I said, "No, it's actually on the SpaceX page. It's on their. It's not even. It's on their actual account." And it wasn't. It must have been something quite a little bit different. Again, with the URL for YouTube, and so I was dead sure it was legitimate. And I almost came back downstairs again and almost just did it anyway, thinking, "Oh, this is too good to pass up." But I didn't do it just because I thought, she did actually say absolutely, do not do it. And so I didn't do it, which is good in hindsight. So it's just funny. So Jemison saying Elon is doing Kerbal Space Program in real life. Yes. So you've got to make a Dascoin T-shirt, said Battle Mode. Bubo's saying, Daz, I'm a Nigerian prince. Could I interest you in a 100% stake in our national marble mine? Only $7,000. I'm in. Bubo's got trouble for trying to get the dad to Daz. I see that a lot that comes up. Andros is in saying, "Hi Dad, so glad you're back. I started to panic. Good to see you again." Yeah, look, it happened. I came back a lot faster than I thought I would. I thought I'd still be out at this stage, to be honest. I thought this week would be a write-off. The other thing that was sort of compounded everything as well is that I lost internet like a little bit before the hack went in. So I have had no internet at all over the last 3 days, so it's complete blackout from internet, except through our phones and things. And my daughter did actually lend us a sort of like a Wi-Fi modem type thing that we could then sort of use just to sort of check emails on the computers, and that was sort of what I had to use to try to sort of do all the negotiations with the to get it all sort of re-established. So Stardock Games is saying, "Hey, is that Stardock fences you're using?" It absolutely is. People ask this all the time, but no, this is actually from Stardock. So Stardock Games is in the chat. Welcome. Oh, hi Skittles, how you going? So anyway, yeah, I do get asked this a lot, and I should also just point out this fences. I've had fences. I'm not using the Steam version of Fences, but the Steam version of Fences is available if you do want that one. But what I love about it is that this is my gaming screen, but I also then have, like, if I've got clients and I've got to share my screen, I can't show a whole lot of games, so I have my work screen back over here, which is sort of all more video and graphics and stuff like this, and different sorts of utilities, which is sort of safe for work, I guess. But it's really simple to actually just use it. And I've got another one if I'm doing like a recording where I've got like a small where I need to have like a blank screen. I've got a blank screen one as well, which is just this one over through here. In fact, that one should go on the other monitor. There we go. So that way I've just got like a nice blank screen. But no, it is awesome. so yeah, no, it's an incredible resource essentially. But I don't know when I first got Fences. Like it must be, God, well over 10 years ago now. I think I've had it for forever. Yeah, it's really, really incredible. But no, it's an amazing little resource. So like it is something that people often ask what that actually is, and so this is. I should actually show you on here. Just go into Steam. I'll just show you on the Steam area. So you can actually just go in and actually I'll do it. I'll just do it on the. I've got a bigger screen set up already for the Steam page. So I've got this one. So you can see a little bit more easily. So this is just Fences is the name, Fences 4. So it's this is coming up in Australian dollars. So the Australian dollars are around about 60 or 70 cents US, I guess. So it's cheaper, of course, the price that you're sort of seeing through there. But no, it's an awesome little program, that one. Highly recommend it. As I say, it's the first thing I install whenever I have a new computer. It's absolutely the first thing that goes in there. Okay, so where have we got? So this is saying I've got a bridge to sell. Is someone if they're interested? Yeah, I'm interested. I'm in. Actually, you can see there I've got new merch up there with hopelessly incompetent, because that's me now at this point in time after being scammed like this. So I've only really been back up and running since, well, how long ago would it be? Probably around about 12, 13, 14 hours ago was when I actually got the internet back. So I've been basically having to watch free-to-air TV for the weekend and things like this, which hasn't been fun. So I'm only really just getting back into things at this point in time. So there's a lot of things that I've actually lost track of where there's been different updates, and there's a lot to go through with the updates of the different games. So I guess we'll sort of start to move through there. So Danny Yeg is saying, I've got a river if anyone wants to put their bridge on it. So Phobius is saying you lost your internet because of the provider fault. It was actually not my service provider. They were great again. They're always. I've been using the same service provider for, geez, that's been probably 12, 13, 14 years actually. It's been a long time, and they were very responsive, and they figured out that they couldn't get contact with my modem at all, but my modem had all the right lights, and so they then had to go and get like a technician who handles the internet in Australia to look into it. But by that stage it was just after lunch on Friday, and the earliest they could book me in was my Monday, which was yesterday. And so they then found there was a fault that only affected me or our house. Our fault was 150 metres away underground somewhere, so they had to go and fix that, but it was only us that got impacted. So Friday was a horrible day for me. That was sort of when the hack came in, where my YouTube channel was deleted, the whole lot. So it was really cool. Actually, one of the funny things that happened yesterday, because when I got my internet back, I wanted to do a live stream, so I did a live stream here on YouTube. And one of the comments that came back, which I was really happy about, was that after Team YouTube had brought all my stuff back together again, it actually people that haven't been getting any sort of notifications for years have actually been now starting to get notifications again, which is incredibly good. So it sort of has reset the dreaded. I think we're more than a couple of minutes in now, so I can say the word. Theocrat. I had a series of Age of Wonders games that I had uploaded with the word Theocrat in the title, and they were basically banned by YouTube because of that word. When I changed the name from Theocrat to Priestess, because Theocrat was one of the classes in Age of Wonders, it then unbanned. But ever since that time, my channel has not been broadcast out to the usual people. I think at that stage I was sort of put on some sort of secret blacklist, but one of the positive things I think that's come out of this hack has essentially been that that all of that has been reset as well. So I'm actually quite excited about that. Actually, if that's true, that's really, really cool. So anyway, there we go. So we've got Sissel saying it's not only the games from Stardock we like here, yes. So any chance you revisit Xenonauts 2 again in the near future? Yes, I will when they finish off the game, I think. I want to wait a little bit longer. I'll probably end up streaming that again on my Twitch channel for the simple reason that it's got really, really good renaming. And so that's a great one for us to play the Daz Demption style, where you guys can actually have a named character, and if you then get killed off, I can then ban you for an hour. So I'll probably do that again, because that one works very, very well with that one. That I'm saying excellent skiving tool there. I'm not sure what that actually is. So I don't know which one you mean. So they're saying he even installs fences before he installs Windows. There we go. No, it is. I've got like a list of things that I install, and literally fences is one of the very, very. I've got my own little private wiki where I like for everything that I'm going to have to repeat, and so I've got them for different clients and that as well. So whenever there's something a bit more complex, I create these little wiki using it's a really cool little wiki actually. It's called Tiddly Wiki. I highly recommend that as well if you do want to have like a searchable data source, and it's awesome just as a for a very, very simple way of actually just recording information. So I do actually have a list of what I need to install on a new computer, which I tend to go through, and Fences is right up near the top, I'm pretty sure, of that list. And this is saying one technician handles all of the Internet of Australia, which explains a lot. Look, it was just that I happened to, they couldn't get anyone on the Friday. If I had rung in the morning, like when it first went down, I let it go for a couple of hours because I thought it would just fix itself. But then when I did actually ring, it was already just after lunch at that stage. And by that stage, it was too late for them to get the technician out, which was a bad. Yeah, Ben was saying, don't say the T word. Yeah, it's never mention the T word. Yeah, the theocrat. Yes. Well, there we go. We've mentioned it now. Quiet Sprints is saying theocrat. Why? I think the only thing I can put it down to is that Sharia law is basically a theocratic system. And I think that they had a big long list back then. I don't know if it still is a banned word, but they had a whole lot of words that were deemed contentious. And if you actually put them into any of your videos, they would then secretly sort of squash your channel. And so I think that's considered to be an anti-Muslim statement. I think that's what it actually is. So I think that was the reason, which is really, really bad, that it then stays in for as long as it takes you to then get completely hacked and deleted and then brought back to life again. So it's sort of one of these things where I feel like my channel has been brought back to life. So I'm going to be interesting to sort of see what happens, to see if people who haven't been getting any notifications for the last few years actually start to pick them up again, which certainly happened when I was live streaming yesterday, which is really, really interesting. So I think that's the reason, but I don't know. It was just that word. When I changed the word from theocrat in the titles to priestess, the videos were able to be monetized again, and so I could actually then publish them again. But it was just a weird situation. But it was like that was certainly a trigger, a weird trigger that certainly impacted my channel negatively for a long period of time. Sithel's saying, since I followed ChatTactic after he mentioned the T word, I've put in a watch list, and now not travel outside Europe. Yes. So Battle Mode saying, I think Groupie is Stardock's gem. I've been using that all the time now. I'm not sure what Groupie is. I think I've seen it, but I'm not sure what that one actually is. And Battle Mode saying, save me lots of time clicking to find windows when I'm working on videos. Oh, okay, yeah. I haven't. I think I've seen it, but I haven't actually had a look at it. Is that in Steam? I don't know if it is. Oh, it is Groupie 2. There we go. It's even cost less than the other one. What does this one do? I've actually got to make sure that these, like all the videos that I now show on Steam, I'm going to have to keep them pretty much silent unless I know that the music in them is, because I've had a fair few of these ChatTactics have been claimed by other groups. So like with the music that plays, actually we can't really see what's going on there. What is going on here? Yeah, I don't know. That would confuse me, I think. I think that would confuse me. So I don't think I would want that one personally. Interested though. I'm taking Battle Mode's lead there, because he does. We often have a very similar taste in games, etc., and also these sorts of things. I'm not sure what how that would work. I'll have to chat with you later on, Ben, to see what your why you recommend it. That would be good. Anyway, let's just leave that one there. Right. Yes, John's saying welcome back, and Doom Lord Kazak has got the little prayer symbols. Okay, where are we up to? We see Curry Munch is saying, Daz, did you not think to email them directly or call to check that they had actually contacted you? Not sure what you mean there, sorry. I'm not sure who you're referring to. Did you not think to email them directly or call to check that they had actually contacted you? Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean. So I'll have to get you to explain that one. Yeah, TiddlyWiki is what I use. It's and I don't know if I can show because I've got sensitive information in there. It's just an HTML file ultimately. It's really cool. I've used wikis for years and years and years. I used to use MediaWiki, which is the same thing that drives Wikipedia. But that was sort of, and that was great when I had staff that used to work for me, and so we used to have all the stuff in there. Then I moved to a smaller one called DocuWiki, and that was good as well. But in both those instances, you need to be running a server, and like an actual, like a web server. And but because I do web work, we always had a web server running. Yeah, like when we had staff, but now that I'm really just sort of working on my own, I no longer need to have a server. So I was just looking for something where I didn't have to be running like Apache on my computer, and and TiddlyWiki was awesome because it literally is just a I'll look it up. I'll just show you. It's confusing to set up, but it's once you've got it set up, it's really cool. Actually, I'll see if I can just show it. I won't open the stuff up. Actually, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't. No, I shouldn't really. Yeah, because I don't know. I don't want sensitive information out there, especially after last week. So TiddlyWiki. There's also desktop for this, which I highly recommend if you're going to use the TiddlyWiki. So yeah, there's Tiddly Desktop in there. So this is actually, if we just go to TiddlyWiki there, it's a weird name. I don't know why it's called this. This is actually TiddlyWiki running as well, like just the way that they sort of present it. A lot of these wikis sort of do it, but it's a extremely good way of just recording information. And it's searchable as well. Actually, this is not really sort of showing it. But I really do like it a lot. I mean, I've used a lot of different wikis, and this is the one that I really like, just as a standalone. Like particularly if you've got like I've got a different wiki for different clients depending on their actual needs. Yeah, so no, I won't open up but you do actually have Tiddly Desktop as an app for working with TiddlyWiki files. And so what this one does, actually, that's not the one I wanted. I'll just go back into here. Yeah, so this is actually the wiki running. This is actually what the wiki looks like. And so you can sort of format it all sorts of different ways. It's really quite easy. It's searchable. Each tiddler, these are called tiddlers, back and through here, you can essentially sort of go through. You've got different things we can sort of go and add in new wikis in around these different things. It's really quite good. Highly recommend it. So there's a lot in here. Anyway, that's a really good wiki if you do want a personal wiki. Oh, there we go. Thanks for the super chat there, Tea Drinking Unicorn, saying good to see you back. Keep up the good work. Thanks for that one very much. So let's have a look at a few more of the comments there. Yeah, so Karen was saying earlier that did you not think to email them directly or call to check that they had actually contacted you, and then you were referring to the proper company that the scammers were using. Yes, I did look it up. I did look up scam with it was NordVPN basically, and it wasn't NordVPN, of course. But I thought it was actually a really good fit for my for this ChatTactic session, because I can literally just have down the bottom of the screen I can sort of have just down below, which way, that way, sort of down in the bottom of the screen I could actually have, if there was a sponsor like that, and something that's probably not really too game related. I thought NordVPN was a good choice. I've got a few other groups I was going to go and approach actually, and like things like NordVPN would have been one of the groups I thought would be a good fit. So when that came in, I thought, perfect. I've actually was going to start looking for a sponsor for this, which would be great. And so when they approached, went through the full negotiation process, basically sort of getting the pricing. They were happy with what was going on, so it sounded really legit. But even if I did that video, it should have showed there was a hyphen in the domain name, but that was the only thing, because I know that NordVPNmedia.com is a real domain. Like I know that that's actually one of their domains, but they put a hyphen in theirs. And on the NordVPN site, if you just go back and have a look, I think I've got NordVPN scam, and then they've got their own support, And so they do say in here, and I looked this one up after it was all too late, of course. So check the sender's email address, and it was the very, very first thing they said. And they basically sort of said that they, if it comes from nordvpn.com or nordvpnmedia.com, and this was the one that was sent to me, but it had a hyphen between NordVPN and media. And it says down into here that, so look for unusual domain endings. It was a .com. Look for .pw or biz, as well as any punctuation marks such as hyphens. So it was there if I had have known to look here, but I didn't until it was all too late. So anyway, that was again why it all went south so quickly. It wasn't fun. So anyway, that was certainly a problem. So they couldn't do anything, of course. So no point really sort of contacting them. So Battleman saying completely ridiculous on YouTube's part there. You mean with the theocrat? I know. It's just it was so frustrating that you've got no recourse. But I think if it happened again, like, and I could sort of pinpoint something, at least I would probably go back through the same Team YouTube group and just sort of see, look, is there something that I've done, or how do I correct something? Because it certainly was very, very different after that one. Guy Bellaby saying, hello Daz, what do you make of Star Trek Infinity based on Stellaris engine? I haven't seen it actually, so I haven't seen that one. I have seen it listed in Steam. Maybe we'll have a look at that as well. So Battleman's saying it's just allowing you to add different programs to the same window group. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know if I think that would confuse me. So I don't think I'd do with that. Carrie Munch is saying the proper company that the scammers... Yeah, okay, we did that one. Yep, so NordVPN. Yep, and Dusty Monk saying, given the number of tabs I've opened in a browser, I think Groupie would melt my computer. So Georgie Yamov is saying, isn't it should be went north instead of went south for Australia? Where was that? Actually, I didn't see the... I know what you mean. Yes, in referred, it's still referred to as going south here as well. I think it's just a common term, but that's a very good point. Sithil's saying, why only make deals with companies if they drive up to me with their limo? It's one of those things. Like, you know, I get a lot of sponsorships that are outside of gaming. Like, I get offered a lot, and there's been a few that I've been interested in, but not very many, because unless I know the company or you know, feel that I can actually endorse them, I don't really take them up. And plus, that's, you know, I know that it's one of the main ways that that you do get scammed. So Danny is saying, have you got your PC completely cleaned? The virus may be sitting dormant and collecting more information for another attack, or just part of a botnet. I've gone through and sort of scanned through the computer. I've also deleted all the files that were sent to me, or, you know, like they don't exist anymore on the computer. And I've gone through my startup just to sort of double check that there was nothing in the start file that was going to trigger at a later date. So I think I've done as much as I can do there. So yeah, good question though. So I think I've got that all covered, but there's certainly been no other suspicious activity, and I've been really, really looking for it if anything does happen. And I've been able to sort of re-secure everything to do with Google again, which has been good. Right, well, let's get into the gaming news. So now it's saying boot. I'm not sure what that is referring to. I'm not sure what the boot is. Anyway, let's go in and have a look at the... I guess we'll just start in Steam and just work our way through. Now, I know there is another thing that I do want to... There's a couple of updates that have come over the last... since I've been away, basically, because I was away for a week, and then my internet... I was up for about half a day, and then basically my internet went down. So I've essentially been out of action for a good week and a half without really being able to sort of see things. And I will actually talk about another of the startup updates, which is Gal Civ. So if we have a look at, actually, I might just have a look through here, because I can show this a bit larger. Might as well get all the startup information out of the way. Galactic Civilizations. Now again, just to quickly go through this, if you have the Epic version of Galciv, this is like a different version than the Epic version. If you got the Epic version, there is an update, a purchasable update, which will then get you up to this particular version. And so this one here, you do want to actually sort of make sure that if you've got the Steam version, you've got the Supernova edition. I would strongly suggest that and recommend that if you do have the Epic version, that you actually look at investing in the Supernova addition to that one. This is so much more polished than the original Galactic Civilizations 4 that released on Epic, a year and a half ago. So the Supernova version is a different version. It's confusing, but that is something just to be aware that that's actually what's happening in through there. Also, the game has it's still in early access. The game has just updated as well while I was away, and yes, actually Skittles had contacted me and told me that it had updated, and so that was actually. Where is it actually? I'll just go back into the community hub. We should see a 1.8. I was looking for this before. I'm not sure if you see it there, but 1.8 should now be the next. I'll just go back into discussions and see if it's showing up. Here we go, 1.8. So 1.8, and I haven't looked at this yet because this came while I was away. So this was a pretty major update. So what they do with the game is that they release major updates fairly often, like as in probably on average maybe once every 6 weeks, I would guess, maybe even tighter than that. So 1.8 went live on the 8th of September, and there's a lot of changes that actually happen with these particular updates. So they've been releasing new civilizations, and you'll just notice, I won't go through all the actual changes, but there are a lot of changes in through here. So the full change log is through here. This is just the short list of what actually happened between 1.7 and 1.8, but it's fairly substantial. Battle mode's then so saying 1.8 is a massive change, and the incoming 1.9 is also huge. Yeah, so it's really, if you've got the Epic version, I would suggest that you get the Supernova edition for it. If you've got the Steam version, you've already got the Supernova version in that sense. And but if you haven't played it for a week or two, you might want to fire it up and have another look at it, because again, there's a lot of big changes that have actually been happening with each of these editions. And so we've got another one, as Battle Mode has sort of said there, coming. And Battle Mode's been saying, Brad's been discussing it a bit on the Galciv 4 Discord. Yeah, so that's another good way to actually keep on top of what's actually happening. I know I've missed a few of the other comments. I'll go back up and read them in just a minute. But so if you do want to sort of keep tabs on things, like Brad Wardell, the founder of Stardock, is very connected with the community, the Galciv community, and is really hands-on with the actual development of the game at this point in time. And so there's a lot of like he's almost every day, I think he's actually sort of answering questions and really sort of just interacting with the community through Discord. So I would again, if you're interested in the game, highly recommend that you look at their Discord as well. So but you got the full changelog there at the Galciv 4 forums, which I won't go through what they all actually are, but there's a lot of changes in these things. And as Ben has mentioned, there's 1.9 also coming as well, which is exciting, because these are big changes. Anyway, let's leave Galciv 4. I'll just go back through and read some of the other comments. This is saying, yeah, that's why you use virtual machines, or at least sandbox stuff, if you're checking out something that seems fishy. It didn't tweak for me. Yeah, because I do have virtual machines set up, but not for that reason. I do it for testing websites. But it's one of those things where I just didn't. It just I don't know why it didn't twig that there's something not quite right. Because when I got into where the files were, that's where I should have just thought, this is wrong. And again, I've got that hopelessly incompetent T-shirt which I've just released as well, and that's because what I did there was hopelessly incompetent. Sabosco is saying, good morning, Daz. I'll send you a Twitch sub next time you're live. I'll definitely be live tomorrow. I don't like streaming on Twitch outside of my normal hours. Although I may do it today, I'm not sure, but I'll definitely be at my normal time tomorrow. Absolutely. I've only just got the internet back. How long ago? Sort of 13, 14 hours ago. So I did a live stream on YouTube, but yeah, it will definitely be back on Twitch again tomorrow. But thanks for that. All you need to do is send me a login for your YouTube account and all the other related passwords. Done and dusted. Not a problem. I'm used to that now. So battle mode suddenly exterminate us the whole file system and start again if it was me. Look, it's I'm pretty sure that all they were. I think that from what I can sort of gather, it was like, I've done everything I need to do. I couldn't that would I'd be down for a week if I actually did that one. If I had to go through my whole computer, which I don't want that to happen. I've been out of action for too long anyway. This does not seem fishy for Daz. No, I'm open for anything, guys. When I said it in that video, like I sort of had said something in the video that my wife was watching, and she said, "Don't say that. They'll actually target you just because you say it." So anyway, Mike Gillespie saying, "I bought a Steam Deck. Any of Daz's favourites that work on that platform? Gal Civ maybe. I'm not sure. I actually don't have a Steam Deck, so I'm not sure what games sort of work there. I know that that's becoming quite a big deal for games. I would guess that Gal Civ would, but I don't know. I really just don't have a clue. So it probably should show up if we go back to the store page. Does it say it in here? Steam Cloud, Steam Achievements. I thought it would show up in here if it did, but I just don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, which games do and which games don't. But all right. Anyway, we'll continue on. Okay, so Michael is then saying, yeah, I couldn't resist anymore, so I did buy that upgrade from Epic game based on Steam Supernova. Yes, it's a massive change. There's so many changes to the game. And Danny Egg is saying escaping a virtual machine environment is pretty much doable, and especially for a virus attacking creative content creators running it is in a virtual machine is expected. Best thing to do is to use an airlocked PC. Well, I sort of this is the other weird thing. I did have an airlocked PC because my internet was down at the time, so I didn't actually have internet access. But I then borrowed this Wi-Fi from my daughter, and then responded to the scammers. So I unlocked the airlock right at the wrong time, just to send off that email and just to have a look at it. And that was so I did actually have something. But having said that, it was because I was logged into YouTube. That's actually how they did it, I think, because I was already logged in, and so it did need to have an internet connection and also an active account. Luckily, I mean, sort of luckily for other things, I don't have very much. Like I don't stay logged into very many things, but YouTube is one that I do because I use it all the time. Now, where are we up to? Yep. So Michael's been saying felt a bit like forced buying a DLC though. Yeah, I can see that. Look, we've discussed this before about how difficult it is. Like the Epic Game Store, I really don't like the Epic Game Store. I just don't like the idea of it. I don't like the exclusivity that they command. But it allows developers to be able to then build and do other things, and so they get more funds to then be able to make the games better. So it's sort of one of these things like, where does it go? And we did a one of these sessions a few months ago actually on that, just to sort of, and it was interesting because I'm certainly somebody who doesn't like the exclusives. I also don't like them for content like in in the streaming services as well, like Netflix and things like this. I wish it was more open, like the way that cinemas are. Cinemas used to also be exclusives, but they actually changed to sort of not be as exclusive, but still actually have other benefits coming into anyone that does create something. But it's hard with Epic. Epic, I think, is going to stop doing the exclusives fairly soon, so I don't think it'll be an issue for much longer, but it is a bit of a problem. And this is another thing where developers tend to develop the game in Epic and then release it in Steam, which is where the public actually is. And so for a game to be successful, it has to be successful on Steam, not on Epic. And so it's a difficult thing for developers to get that right as well. And so games like Gal Civ have sort of then taken that step of trying to build something different. Games like Old World, which did fairly well on Steam, did it through a free DLC, I think, that came in both locations, but that was you need to have some way of promoting the game when it does launch on Steam, and so it's a hard thing, like, to get the balance right there. But yeah, it is difficult. Okay, so where we are, we've got Sabosco saying to Mike Gillespie, I love my SD. I'm not sure what the SD is. Most turn-based strategy games can be played on it pretty well. Oh, okay, this is the Steam Deck. So yeah, most turn-based strategy games can be played on it pretty well. Dwarf Fortress works really well on it. That's interesting. Bonus if game comes with innate controller support. And Phoebus is saying, what happened to Derek Paxton, Kale? Why is he no longer involved with Gal Civ? I don't think Derek's any longer with Stardock. Actually, I noticed that on their website some months ago, actually. So I think that, I don't know what Kale is doing. If you don't know who Kale is, or Derek is, Kale is a modder who had built the Fall from Heaven mod for Civilization 4, I think it was. And he built like a couple of them, Fall from Heaven and Fall from Heaven 2. Incredible mods. And at that time, and probably even arguably still, it was considered the best mod ever made. And so he then, after he'd been building that, he was then brought across to Stardock to then work on what was then at that stage Elemental. And Elemental was a problem. Like it really didn't launch well at all, and it was just had way too many things in it, and so it was sort of like it almost suffered from its own feature creep in a weird sort of way. I was really wanting that game to do well, but it just didn't gel when it was released. But then Derek came in at that point, and he fixed up and then created Fallen Enchantress out of it, Elemental, which was a very good game. It is still a very good game. It's like, and that's getting updates even lately. So anyway, that's what happened with Derek Paxton. So he was at Stardock for a long period of time. So I don't know what he's doing or where he's gone, but that's the history there with what went on. Now, certainly. Brad Wardell has sort of really stepped into the lead of developing up the Gal Civ 4. So that's sort of where we are with the way that's my understanding anyway. Now where do we get up to? I keep on missing where we are. So Gren is saying, Daz, are you planning to re-upload your older videos? I like to re-watch your Eardor Let's Plays. I will get there eventually. I've done another batch of them today. I'm just going to have to do them a little bit of a batch day by day. Unfortunately, I've got to go through every single video and change them from private to public again, and then go through all of the playlists and reorder them, which is it's not difficult, but it's just time consuming. So I will eventually get through the videos, but I think I've got like 4,000 videos or something like that, something crazy. So I'm definitely, as of just before I started doing this live stream, I'm back up to the middle of last year now. And I'll just continue on sort of working back through. I'll try to maybe sort of do it maybe a year a day or something, just of videos, so we sort of get it in through that way. So it's going to take a long time to do it. And also the batch processing that I can do in YouTube is limited to 30 videos at a time, and even that's not really all that good. So I've sort of got to try to, I'm just batch processing as much as I can, and then going back to the playlists. And I can automate the order of those based on the publication date, which I'm now resetting all of those to that as well. But I've got hundreds of playlists and thousands of videos, so it's a really big job, unfortunately. But that's what I get for being hopelessly incompetent. So it's sort of like penance. It's like writing lines in school, like when you do the wrong thing. It's that's how I'm looking at it. It's a lesson so that I don't do it again. So we'll get to them eventually. Eodor was many, many years ago, so I'm not sure when I'll get to those. Baseline saying, for anyone interested, Horizon from 2013, Space Forex like ISG, released a patch recently with another patch to come and more content according to their Steam post. I think it's a really good game. I haven't even heard of that one, actually, Horizon. So if I remember, we'll go back to those games at the end of the session. Joel was saying, oh, by the way, I don't actually have a sponsor for today's video. So, and I don't mean NordVPN, I mean an actual game. I don't have a game giveaway, but we'll still do a marble run at the back end of it. So, yeah, no giveaway today, but and I'm not sure when I'll be able to get some more game codes to give to you guys. Right, where are we get up to? So Joel is saying, I'm thinking about getting Shadow Empire. Is it easy to learn in Distant Worlds 2? No. Simple is a simple answer. And in fact, the Battle said Joel, definitely not. And William is saying, Joel, no. But interesting question. Shadow Empire, there's no real easy way of playing it. Whereas Distant Worlds, there sort of is, because you can automate everything. So depending on if you played Distant Worlds without the automation on, then Distant Worlds would be more complex than Shadow Empire. But with the automation, you don't have to rush things with Distant Worlds. So, but yeah, certainly Shadow Empire on its own is very, very difficult. Battlemate's saying, but you should play it anyway. It's very good. It is incredibly good. It's an incredibly good game. Sithel saying Galciv is marked as playable on the Steam Deck compatibility. Oh, okay, that's good. I don't know where you see that on the actual. It's not on this screen. I thought it would be on this screen. I thought they would it would be something that would feature in around here somewhere. I thought it would be in here, to be honest. Like they've got Steam Cloud, Steam Achievements. There should be a Steam Deck part in there as well, I would imagine. What did we get up to? So, Rogue is saying, I can't stand and will not bend to Epic Game Store. I just wait on whatever it is. I don't blame the company, though. Yeah, it's a hard one because the companies need the money to develop, and so Epic does give them that, at least for now. That apparently will change. They're going to stop doing these exclusives fairly soon, I believe. From what I can understand, they've only got like 1 or 2%, or maybe up to 5% of the market. So they're not really all that popular. I think Microsoft has got their own thing as well. So yeah, it's I'm not sure what Epic is going to do in the future. I don't like the exclusive thing. I always think about what's happened with the cinemas, and because cinemas used to be exclusive, like you had to go to a specific cinema to see a specific movie, but then they did actually open it up for licensing and stuff, and it's been so much better, at least with the movies. Dusty Monk's saying, I've bought lots of games on Epic. Every one of them costs $0. There we go. So John Monkey saying, oh, wow, Paxton was a big deal back in the day. That's surprising. It is, actually. I'm not sure what happened there. I've got no idea. I think that from when I last looked, not that I take much notice, but I seem to remember weird things, but I don't remember important things. But I think Derek is still listed on certainly in the credits of Gal Civ, but I'm not sure in what capacity. I can't remember what the capacity actually was. So Andrew Center saying, good evening, Daz. Happy to see your channel is back and safe. Yeah, thanks for that. It's been an interesting few days, I've got to say. Like it was, as I say before, I just can't believe how good Team YouTube was at actually addressing it. That was a lot of work they had to do. Like people have sort of said they should be charging for what they did, and really, like the amount of effort it took for them to actually go through and actually sort this out for me, where there was toing and froing, all sorts of different things happening. It was incredible what they did, and I feel sorry for people like who have if their Google account does get hacked. I've got no idea where you'd go if you weren't a YouTube partner. I would hate to think of how I would have to go through and get that one sorted. I'd almost have to sort of start thinking I'd have to go outside of Google and even go to the Australian government and try to get them to actually push for it. It would be something, because Google itself does not have a way to contact them directly. It's really, really weird. So where are we up to? We've got yep. So Bantam was saying for 6,000 plus videos. Is that how much I've got? I thought I had 4,000, but anyway, that's going to take some time. It's going to take me a hell of a long time. So Andrew Ryan saying, have to buy a new PC? Fried the motherboard of my 7-year-old potato. I can jump into new games finally. Well, that's sort of a good thing, I guess, unless you lose data. This is saying the hacker stole all of our game codes. The monsters. That's from the giveaways. Yeah. No, they didn't. Like, it's funny because they, like, even with my Google account, I was really, really concerned because it's not just YouTube and Gmail that's attached to my Google account. Like, you can see up through here, I've got Google Sheets, I've got all sorts of stuff. I've got other things, like analytics. I've got all sorts of things, and none of that was touched, which was, I'm very, very thankful for. And I have sort of gone through all of those. I had to go through all of those as well, just to make sure that they didn't insert themselves. But they were only interested in the YouTube channel, which was good in that sort of instance. Okay, so where have we got one? We've got in there. So Andrew's saying we're here for the adrenaline rush of the race, not for the games. Yes. And so Rogue is saying Shadow Empire is an exceptional game, so it's worth the time to learn it. Watch some vids by Daz and Battle Mode. Yeah, we both cover it a lot. I know that Ben's of Battle Mode's been covering that a lot lately, or over the last few months. So with some really big series on that one. It's a game that it's hard to. I did do a tutorial series on it, and that's still really quite relevant. But the game is changing a lot, particularly just in the recent weeks. Like, I played it yesterday, and I was surprised at just how different it actually was. It was really, really good. Just have a quick drink of water. So Cithil is then saying it may not show Steam Deck compatibility for you if you do not own one. Yeah, maybe. Although I'm not logged in on this particular one. It's so I haven't actually logged into this one. I've had to get rid of all my logins, so I'm going to have to log in and then do the two-factor authentication and so on and so forth. Do everything now. Yep. So where did we get up to? Yep, Epic. It takes a lower cut than Steam. Steam takes 30% of the income. It does, but you sell so many more through Steam than you do through Epic. Like, it's one of those things. Is getting 70% of potentially thousands of sales better than whatever it might be, 50% or whatever. I don't know what the Epic one actually is of. Rather than 90% of the. Of a handful, because I just the scale difference is just so different. Yep. So this is saying 30% in general. There are exceptions. There we go. So Brecht is saying, Daz, why there are no good new games? There are many good new games, which I'm going to go through soon. So this is saying, tons of new good games. So I guess it depends on what you like. So you're going to like what? I buy games every week. Everything sucks. Although I did the Barrow Trauma. I haven't played Barrow Trauma. I've seen it, but I haven't played it. That was out there a little while. We'll go through a lot of the games. Actually, I'm going to be going through the updates because I haven't had a look at them for a couple of weeks. So we'll have a look and see. We've just gone through the Gal Civ update. Gal Civ is a great game. Like, that's certainly really, really cool. There's a lot of things that have happened in the last 2 weeks. So this is saying, have you tried Baldur's Gate 3? I'm not sure if you're talking to Brecht or myself, but I haven't. I'm steering clear of that one. I almost steer clear of what's the other space one that's just come out? I've forgotten the name of it. What was it? It was Starfield. So we should have a look and see how, because just before I left, we were going to see how Starfield was performing on Steam, and I guessed it would be in between 85 and 89, somewhere in there. I think some of you guys were also guessing around that level. Let's have a look at that one now. Actually, I'll just quickly go through I'll try to catch up with the comments. Will you make another guide? Oh, I will have to actually. When the next big patch comes out, I will actually have to make a Shadow Empire update of the different starts, because each start now is really quite dramatically different. Battle Mode saying, I've not put any Shadow Empire videos up for a month or more. I've slipped too far behind the beta patch process, and I think I'm going to have to start a new series now. I'm in that category as well. It's like the patches make so many big changes. It's yeah, it looks like the game is very much in early access. I'll still be playing with Oceania's release patch, says Battlemate. Oh, wow. Gee, that's really old. Still saying 100% of 0 is still 0. There we go. But Junkie's saying Steam's 30% is only worthwhile if you're visible. Don't make the front page list, etc. It's a high price. But see, that also comes down to marketing as well. Like, so you got to, it's not just a matter of having a game on Steam. You've got to, there's a lot of work I think that developers have to do. It's difficult. You know, it's one of those things where a developer has particularly an indie developer who has to do all their own marketing and everything like that themselves. It is quite a task. So Kay is saying, are you playing Unity games? I'm not sure what you mean, as in the Unity engine. And so Sithel's saying BG3 was more aimed at Brecht. Yeah, okay, so there we go. Bitch is saying hi, and Brecht is saying I tried BG3. So Sithel's saying Barotrauma is good with a group. Yeah, I haven't played that one. Brecht is saying I don't know, all these AAA RPGs are mostly style with no substance. I agree with that to a large degree. I love the indie games that really do focus on one thing and do it very, very well. K Tennyson saying no 250k play star. I'm not sure what that is. Rogue is saying you've probably played, and I don't remember, but Star Traders Frontiers is an awesome game. Been playing that a lot lately. That's fairly old, I think. Danny is saying after January the 1st, 2024, the ethical way to play the Unity games is to buy it. Then instead of installing it, you have to pirate it. Okay, but we won't endorse anything like that. So Thistle's saying a lot of people feel that BG3 has a lot of soul compared to all the proper AAA games. Yeah, I've heard BG3 actually. We might have a look at that one as well, and just to see how that one actually does perform in the Steam lists. Now, Battlemode's saying, yeah, to Brecht, Baldur's Gate 3 isn't AAA, and I disagree with modern CRPGs form over substance. I think there have been some incredibly good games released in the last 5 years. Joel is saying, I just tried to buy Shadow Empire and the DLC, but your Nexus on your Nexus page, and after I completed the order, it says the game is sold out. Payment never went through, but it's kind of strange. That is strange. I'll have to contact them about that. Yeah, that's weird actually, if that's the case. Because this has happened before, and then they've got to approach the developer because they get it straight from the developer. But I was saying Underrail, Pathfinder, Kingmaker, Grimoire. There's a list of games there. Wouldn't mind having another go at Dazdemption in RimWorld. Actually, that would be cool. Actually, that would be fun. I haven't played RimWorld for a long time, and Dazdemption there would be a good way to do it. Actually, because we'd end up with a number of different characters. Also, Dwarf Fortress is actually getting some more attention as well. So Dwarf Fortress would be another good one for us to have a look at. So we've got Baldur's Gate 3 will be Game of the Year for pretty much everyone, I think, says Battle Mode. Yeah, from what I can understand, it probably will be. And Danny is saying, yep, so Baldur's Gate 3 is good, but I don't particularly like it. I feel like it just came at the right time and it just blew up. A lot of hatred people had towards shitty AAA games, and Baseline is saying BG3 so overrated. Let's have a look and see what Baldur's Gate 3. What's the guess in the ratings, guys? We'll have a look, and then we'll do Starfield as well. So overwhelmingly positive. Wow, that's a big numbers, isn't it? All reviews, 95%. That's actually pretty surprising for a game like this. That is actually that is very, very good, I've got to say. Like, that is really surprisingly good. You don't expect to see those sort of numbers. That many people, and the average being 95%. Let's have a quick look and see the Steam charts for Baldur's Gate. I don't know if I have to log in. Hang on, why is that not showing up? Have I spelt it correctly? Baldur's Gate 3, there we go. So there's a lot of people currently playing it. Let's have a look at this one, and we'll look at the charts. And that's the actually we can't see the ratings. We see the ratings over here, I think. Show the graph. Yeah, so we don't need to be looking at way back over there. it has dwindled a little bit. It's positive there, so it is. That's the numbers. That's the negatives reviews this way, and so it looks to be fairly consistent when you look at it. Of course, you're going to get less reviews as time does go on. How do we do this? We've got the summary, date range. Where is the date range? Come on, click. It won't click. I can't choose that for some reason. Not sure why. Yeah, I don't know why I can't actually sort of hone in on this. But the ratios look pretty good there. So yeah, I can't actually sort of see too much about that one. Anyway, that's all right. Just move on back. So Starfield 75% in battle, so Baldur's Gate 3 something like 90%. Yeah, 95% for that one. Let's have a look at Starfield. I thought Starfield would be around about the 85. But I've also noticed there's a lot of, I better just go and choose an old date. So, mostly positive, there we go. So this one's 76%, there we are. So we've got the 76% for that one. So that's lower than what I thought it would be. This one looked pretty exceptional, actually. I was pretty blown away by what it actually did do. And I think there's been a lot of negativity from what I can sort of gather from just little videos that I've seen over the last week when I was away. There's been a lot of kickback against the pronouns in the game, apparently. Just crazy. Like from what I can see from when I played it, it's just at the start of the game. You're just deciding what you've got, what the character is. It's not a big deal. Like it doesn't. I don't think it plays a role after you've started the game. So anyway, I don't know why, but I gather it may have been review bombed. Again, I don't know if we can see this. Now, when we have a look at from the lifespan, we're looking at sort of we're not sort of getting the ratio there, but just visually, it looks like there was more negatives at the start. That's interesting. So we had more negatives at the start, but the ratio looks about the same. It certainly dwindled off after the first day. Hang on, is that showing us? It's the lifetime. It doesn't look right. September the 6th. Yeah, I guess that was launch date. Yeah, so the reviews have certainly gone down. I guess the negatives have got... actually, those negatives there are... that's running at about 66%. That's about the same again as well, actually. Is it 66? No, it's about 70. Yeah, so these are trending downwards at this point in time. So the actual overall trend, by the looks of things, is going negatively. So 3,000 versus 16,000. So yeah, when it first launched, it actually was very, very positive, or like it was certainly much, much higher. So that would have been like if you look at that as 100%, that would be you'd have to say that's well and truly in the 80s. But then it started to dwindle down from there. So each day after that point has just gotten worse and worse to a degree, anyway. But yeah, it's sort of funny. I think that there has been a lot of hate for the game. I actually really was quite impressed by it, to be honest. But then I'm easily impressed with these sort of things. So what did we get up to? So Battle Mode saying, hang on, I've gone off the top of the screen. I'll just bring it back a bit. So I'm sorry you can't fake it reviews like that. It's clearly not overhyped. Yeah, you can't overhype the positives like that. So Battle Mode saying, I haven't got it yet, ain't got time to play it really, but I hear it's very good from reliable sources, but it's not perfect. I think you might be talking about Starfield. Starfield certainly isn't perfect, but it's impressive, the scope of it. Yuri Pepsi-Cola is saying, what do you think about the upcoming Dominion 6? Would you play it? Absolutely. That's an absolute no-brainer for me anyway. So this is saying if you like Armored Core, the new Armored Core game is the new Armored Core game is Armored Core. Yeah, that's actually been announced. We should go through some of these things now actually and just go and have a look. And I don't know if is it Armored Core? Hang on, what's it called? Armored. That's not the one I was thinking of. Hang on, which one was it? I'll just see if I can find it. Which will be under modern. It may not be the one that you're referring to there, actually. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, I can't see it there. Oh, I can't see it. Armored something. There is. It's not showing up. What are the Slytherin games? But it's. I thought it was Armored Core. Maybe the spelling may be different. It may be the American spelling. Armored Brigade. That's what I'm thinking of. Armored Brigade has announced a new game, so that's actually what I was looking at through there. This is a really good game actually, but they do actually have an announcement that just came a couple of days ago. I noticed as well. So Armored Brigade 2 has been announced, so look out for that one. I'm not sure when that will actually hit. So set in the tense backdrop of the Cold War, Armored Brigade 2 offers a plethora of enhancements and innovative features in comparison to its predecessor. The game shifts from a 2D to a more immersive 3D environment. So it's looking very much, this is looking pretty cool actually. This was already a great game when it was just 2D. So yeah, let's play this. I don't know about I can't really play the sound. We'll see. Yeah, when there's music, I just can't afford to play the music. So this is what the new one's going to look like. I mean, the graphics look a bit janky, but looks good. I don't mind that for these sorts of things. There we go. We've still got the same 2D drop down, or top view. Certainly the infantry look a bit don't look modelled all that well, but it still looks pretty impressive. I know I'm going to enjoy it. Looks like we've got grids there as well on the line, which is would then relate to the 2D. So just having a look at that, I think if we sort of analyse what we're seeing through there, we can certainly see the way that the 2D works. I don't know where the other 2D actually is. Yeah, this is the 2D aspect. And so you can sort of see, I'm not sure if we can pick up even whereabouts in this actual map we're actually playing. Not sure. Yeah, that's actually going in. Let's just have a quick look and see. Oops, I missed it. Damn, I keep on missing it. Now it was around here somewhere where it sort of zooms in, but it's this is definitely all hex-based. Sorry, not hex-based, grid-based, just tile-based for the old system. And it looks like the 3D work, there it is. It's in here somewhere, I think. So this is then remodeled now properly. But this was a very, very good game. Yes, it then comes in with the 3D environments. It's interesting, actually, to see how they're going to do that one. But just looking at the actual maps, the fact that you've got the actual grids, this is the way that the game was played in 2D. So it's going to be fairly basic. You can see there, it doesn't look all that... Let me just get this on full screen. That would be better. Make it a bit more sort of useful. But yeah, this one, I did notice that this one had been announced, which would be good. I mean, the gameplay, the 3D aspect is just going to be for a bit of fluff, but it really is a very, very good base. The game itself is very, very good. So anyway, that one is on its way, which I'm looking forward to. So I'm not sure when that will actually hit. Let's have a quick look back into here. Sorry, I'm missing a lot of the comments here. Where did we get up to? Okay, so Joel's saying, I tried again and the order was successful for Shadow Empire. That's interesting. I'm not sure why that would have been the case. Yep, then Armored Core. I'm not sure what Armored Core is in that case. Sithal, sorry. Okay, saying no, that's why people dislike it. It's a bad game because of gameplay. And Sithal saying, who cares about pronouns? I know there's a few videos when I was in Melbourne, like I had to go, like when I was away for that week. I was watching some videos there, which was really quite funny though. It was really quite dramatic. So Battlemode's saying, no, it's not really the pronoun thing that's overblown. It's because it's janky. I don't know. Like I actually think it's not bad. Like from when I played it. Yep, still the same. Before I understand the game has other issues. A lot of the same issues of all Beth's games have. It's certainly bigger than anything that they've done before, I think. And Battlemode's saying, I've heard mixed things about it. Some say it's great, some say it sucks. But Junkie saying, I was disappointed it doesn't offer seamless exploration. That's what I like. I thought it did. If you just don't land at the normal spots. And I haven't tried that yet. So it gets it somewhere in between, says Battle Mode. People normally put up up that when it comes to Elder Scrolls and Fallout games. Yeah, that's the main complaint, I think. I want to get back to Dwarf Fortress, but I really want adventure mode back, says Brecht. There's a few things I want them to just fix up the door smashes or the furniture smashes because they're not working properly yet. And it's I was expecting that to be working, I don't know, months and months ago, to be honest, just after launch, because it's been a problem since launch. We'll talk about that in just a minute, actually, because there's a lot of things that have changed with Dwarf Fortress. Sorry, I've gone well and truly off. Actually, not that far off, I don't think. Where did we get up to? No, I have gone way off. Sorry, guys, I'm going to have to just skip ahead of a lot of the comments. Because I'm running too far behind with all this stuff. I think I'll just let the comments sort of roll forward. If you need to grab my attention, just write @ChatTactic. It will then come up in red, like Battle Mode has just done, saying I think if you're waiting on a specific change for Dwarf Fortress, you could be waiting literally years. I think so as well. Let's go through the actual changes, the list of different things in Steam. So let's just go back to our Steam library. And we'll do what's coming. Now, I've just started to put up a series of Dune Spice Wars. Dune Spice Wars has just released, so they've got an early access recap. It's been a long year and a half for Dune Spice Wars, with early access seeing the arrival of numerous updates, bringing new factions, multiplayer battles, system overhauls, new biome systems, features and so much more to the game before leading us here, just 2 days away from our launch. So this is before the launch. Maybe we'll skip past this one. But there's an awful lot of changed content in here, even from a few weeks ago. I did play the game a few weeks ago, like when it was still before release, and I've then played it after release. And it is really dramatically different. I think that, yeah, there we go. That's the release. So it's got version 1 is now available. Hi Tenro, how are you going? Are you going to stream on Twitch today? I'll see how I go. I can't promise that I will. I'll have to have a bit of a look to see what's going on. I've got a lot to do today, unfortunately. I'll definitely be back tomorrow on Twitch. So Genos is saying, wait, Armour Brigade 2, I ducked out for a second. Yeah, they've brought in a fairly basic 3D aspect to it, so it's not as good as. In fact, there was another video just launched, which we'll have a look at as well, for what's the one called? It's another one very sort of similar with Modern Warfare. Broken Arrow. Broken Arrow just had another announcement come out literally, I think 20 minutes before I started doing my stream here. So Dune Spice Wars 1, let's just talk about this one. So I'm doing some sponsored content for this one at the moment, but I am thoroughly enjoying the game. If you've read the books or understand the lore, I think it's much, much better to play the game with at least a basic knowledge of the lore of Dune. It really is amazing if you're into the lore. If you're expecting a Dune 2, which is what people have sort of been asking for, which is more Command and Conquer sort of style, that is not the Dune lore. That is not the Dune universe. But it's, if you're looking for that sort of game, this sort of gets there, but not in that sort of way. So this is actually really a big deal in terms of like, if you do like the lore of Dune, then there's a lot of subterfuge. There's a lot of sort of dealing with the Galactic Empire. There's all sorts of different things sort of away from the planet Arrakis itself. So it really is quite amazing with what they've actually sort of got there. So anyway, this is I've been having a lot of fun with it. I'm playing as House of Kaz in the series that I'm putting up, and it's been good. It's been good fun. And again, they've changed so much of the base mechanics in the game, just between the launch version and the early access version. There has been, I've been sort of trying to gauge where viewers are, like just by reading Steam comments, and people are struggling with the fact that there's no story campaign. But the story is not, it's not a hard set. You know, you're starting at the start of the book type thing. It's a bit looser than that. So they do actually have this particular conquest campaign mode, which is procedural, and I think this works better for me personally, anyway, than the. But I don't really like the. I don't really like campaigns anyway. The story-driven ones anyway for games. But this is a procedural campaign for the game itself, which is really quite cool. So it's good fun. It's very, very well done, the game. Like, there's all sorts of different things in through here. There's heaps and heaps of changes. I won't go through too many, but there are an awful lot of the way things actually work. I like the changes, but I've also read that some other people don't like them, but I really do like them a lot. Assassination reworks. This is all the stuff that's changed for the release version of the game. Like, there's just heaps and heaps when you actually have a look at it, and it really is really quite polished, I've got to say. It's been very, very enjoyable playing this particular, like, the release version of Dune. So that's the first bit of interactivity up the top there. Let's just go back the other way. Let's read a few more of the comments. Okay, so Cecil's saying I should get to playing Dune. Well, certainly if you've read the books. I think if you've read the books and understand what the Landstrad Council is, what CHOAM is, what the Spaces Guild is, if you have a basic understanding of what those things are, the way that they're impacting in the game will make a lot of sense to you. If you're not aware of what those things are, it's going to be difficult to think, why is all this random stuff coming in all the time? So anyway, it's interesting. Jenna's saying, wait, Brigade 2, yeah, so yeah, just a preliminary announcement, there we go. Yep, so Michael is then saying, I remember playing Dune 1 back in 1992. Yes, no, it was an old game. I did see comments there from people saying, hey, I wanted Dune 2. But it's not, Dune 1 was not Dune. It was just Command and Conquer on a desert world. My 2 cents today is in saying what happened to humankind. I don't know. I never warmed to it. I actually don't really like games that go through eras. So that's why I don't really like Civilization. And Humankind was sort of in the same sort of bend in through there. Danny is saying, call me wishful, but I trust US medical systems just enough to keep Town Brothers alive for 1.0 Dwarf Fortress release. Don't know if I'll live to see that day, though. It's one of those things where... I don't know when they'll release it. I sort of almost hope that they never do, to be honest. It's been in early access for so long. It would be a shame to get to a release version of Dwarf Fortress, in my opinion. Drexy's saying Broken Arrow. Yeah, so Broken Arrow did actually have... We might look at that video, actually, because it's not up in here anywhere. And it's not released yet. So just have a quick look. I can't do it there. Just go to YouTube. I'll just do a look for Broken Arrow. It's only ran for a couple of minutes. So yeah, 1 hour ago, basically. So this is, and a lot of people are looking forward to this. I think I can play the sound on this one. Hope it's loud enough.
Broken Arrow features more than 300 units and over 1,500 possible customizations for these units, resulting in thousands and thousands of combinations. All of these possibilities are regrouped in our deck creation system called the Army Builder. Select a nation and 2 specializations out of the 4 proposed. Here, we select USMC and Armored. Each specialization contains a unique roster of units, resulting in 6 unique battle groups archetypes. Name your deck, and you're ready for the next step. This is the overview of your deck. There are 6 categories, each containing an amount of slots. You also have a limit of value per category and for the entire battle group. Let's jump into the air category. Double-click or drag and drop a unit to fill 1 slot. You can repeat the process or click the plus and minus buttons to adjust the quantity you want. Note that each vehicle you add costs some points. Once you're out of points in this category, you cannot add more units. On the right side of the screen, you can see the statistics panel displaying all the characteristics of the unit as well as its customization options. Let's customize this plane. For each pair of pylons, we can select a loadout: bombs, rockets, missiles. Create the combination of your choice. Of course, this has an impact on the value of the unit, so choose carefully. Let's head to the infantry category. Here you must select infantry squads as well as the transport that will bring them on the battlefield. You are not forced to select a transport, but if you do so, they will arrive on the battlefield on foot unless you add an independent transport to your deck, like a cargo plane to airdrop your troops. That's it. Once you've filled your deck with all the units you need, it's time to head for the battlefield.
So there it is. Now I did play a version of this game some months ago with my older graphics card, and it didn't struggle with it at all, which was actually really quite nice to see. So it actually worked in fairly well. The graphics, as you can sort of see through here, just look exceptional. Like, this is really, really polished. But you know, I'm personally not looking. I'm not really hanging out for Broken Arrow, and I know there's a hell of a lot of people that actually are. But having played it, I found that I prefer the combat. Which one is it actually? The combat mission. I prefer the way that that's modelled. There's a few of them like that where I find that this is a little bit too abstracted for my own this particular aspect of it in through here. I'll just move out of the way there. The way that this works is it doesn't really. They don't, like, the units don't really sort of. They don't have multiple things that they can do, like in combat mission. In combat mission, it's an older type game, although there's a new combat mission that's just come out as well. But for me personally, this is much more about real time moving things around rather than actually setting up actual decision making. So my preference is for combat mission, but I can see why people will be looking for this one. This is more about just grabbing units and quickly placing them somewhere on the map, and then just watching the fluff from all the various explosions and things. So it looks incredibly good, like amazingly good, the way it sort of does work. And but for me, the actual gameplay is a bit weak. That was back when I played it some months ago. So just as a bit of a preference, or where things go. Whereas something like Combat Mission, which has just come out with Combat Mission Italy, I think it is, the Italian Offensive or something. I forget what that one's called. So I'll just have a quick look. So I've got it in here. I haven't actually played it yet, but this is the Fortress Italy. So this has actually just come in. So I've installed it, but haven't actually played it. I won't open it up. But this is. So combat mission is, for me, much more realistic in the way that things sort of are presented. And also combat mission has got like different modes of playing as well, like that just make it like for me more engaging. But that's just me. I know that Broken Arrow is going to be an absolute hit. I've got the old Broken Arrow demo there. That won't run, I'm sure of it. But I did have it there from when they were doing a release. I'll certainly cover it when it comes back out again. But I did find that aspect of it a little bit noted. But it just just looking at the comments there. It just wasn't quite as detailed as something like Combat Mission, and I prefer the detail, to be honest. Now, just reading a few things there. So Andrew Ryan saying, great, I'm a big fan of the book saga. And Drexy saying, knowing the lore of Dune made it worse for me. Oh, really? That's interesting, because I find that for me, knowing the lore was essential just for the to really get the most out of the game. So Battlemate saying, I don't like the new factions completely out of theme for the books. It's actually not. It's actually okay. Let's talk about this one, because I looked it up, and House Ikaz is actually from the prequel books, and they were the closest ally of House Atreides, and I didn't realise this. I've never read the prequels, but when I looked into it, like the characters are all book characters. They're all they were there, like the daughters of the new faction. Two of the daughters were engaged to be married to Duke Leto of House Atreides. So there is a big connection. This is why it's more like Civilization's way I can sort of think of it, where the game itself is not set like at a particular date. It is a bit broad, but this is a faction, and I'm guessing that there's I forget the name of the other faction. There's another one called M that sort of was the arch enemy of House Ikaz, but they are essentially pretty true to the books. They did gender swap the Archduke with an Archduchess in the particular faction, but they've still got the Archduke in the books. Apparently had his arm chopped off. They've got the same thing happened in through here. The daughters all got killed off in assassination attempts, I believe. One of them at sort of like the wedding of Duke Leto. So anyway, it's interesting. So there is actually that. When I looked into it, that it does work pretty well. Even the way that you play as the Ikaz works well with what I have read about the faction from the books, from the prequel books. Okay, so but I'm saying I wanted to like Dune, but they've released it with some pretty serious pathfinding AI bugs, and it's not really acceptable I haven't noticed that. I've been playing it a lot, and I haven't actually noticed that one. So Video Dog saying, does the Dune campaign has an end, or does it go on indefinitely? It does have an end. In the campaign, I'll just show you actually. I'll open the game up. So where are we? Dune is down in here. So if we go to single player, so you've got the single game, which is the big game, which is Battle for Arrakis, which is the game that started off in the early access. You've then got a small duel, just a 1 versus 1 on a very, very small map. So it's sort of like Battle for Arrakis, but everything is sped up, so you can sort of play it fairly quickly. And then you've got Conquest, which is the procedural generation. So if we click on Conquest, I'm just going to go no, because that's what I'm recording at this stage. And so you've only got the great houses, are the only ones you can play in through here. I'm not sure why that's the case, actually. I sort of hope that they do actually open up the Fremen and the smugglers in as well at some point. But at this stage, you can only play as one of the great houses. Let's just choose House Carino, for example. And so all of the faction bonuses, again, they play true to the books, to the lore, just with the actual bonuses, the way that these sort of do work. So we're just going back into here. It then just goes through what their benefits actually are. So this is the Emperor. The difficulty defaults to easy, but you've got a few different difficulty modes. We're just going to get started. And so the campaign is procedural, as in, it changes every time you play it, but the overall objectives stay the same. So when we come into this, we'll just go in and Now you only play against 2 other players, but you can still actually have Fremen on the actual map as well. So you can actually have like another player on the actual map, and so you have to get 2 objectives to win the actual campaign. You can see these are all just like smallish little territories. In fact, if I just go back into this one, I've just got to set up. You got a random start with something. You don't know exactly what's going to sort of happen with these, so these are randomly set up for you. I'll just go and choose that one without really reading it. Then it randomly chooses a few different objectives, and you have to then choose which objective you're then going to go for. And so it then has like a bit more of a personalized way of playing. This one here is just a standard zone with spice. This one here is also just a standard zone, but some of the other zones will actually have different sorts of bonuses associated with them. Yeah, there's all sorts of different things that do actually happen. So we've got House Harkonnen back over through this side, and we have the Ikazi territory back over this other side. So you either, when you're playing the campaign, you either defeat, like you've got to get 2 objectives: defeating House Harkonnen, which means taking this location; defeating House Akaz, taking that location; owning 8 territories around the map; or allying with the Fremen, and this is like a Fremen count in through this other side. So they're also on the map in some of the actual locations. In fact, some of these normal ones should actually, I'll just pick any old 2 of these, and we'll just go straight into it, just get started. And then it plays out like a bit of a, not as usually as big as the normal base game, but it's these maps can vary a fair bit as well. Just close that one for as an example. So the Emperor then comes in with his Imperial base coming in from orbit, and then you can start playing the game from there. Now there should be, we've got one. The map itself is this, in this case it's fairly big actually, and we can see through there we actually do have the Archduchess Amanda, Akaz. We have Baron Harkonnen. We also have the smugglers as well in this particular one. So the smugglers are vying for control of this region as well, and so even though they're not a playable character, so they actually do still sit back in there. Anyway, that's sort of how it then plays out. You then play these maps out. If you win, you basically then take control of that territory, and you're back out again. So it's actually fairly cool the way it does work, I think anyway. So I'll just leave that one there. But as I say, I've been having a lot of fun with it. I've enjoyed it a lot, and I have found the lore to be really, really quite good, to be honest. But that's just me. Let's go through a few other ones, a few of the other comments. So Tenor is saying, I watched your latest Shadow Empire video. Was that a one-off playthrough since the map was very small? Yeah, that was just yesterday. I just wanted to do some sort of live stream, and I thought Shadow Empire would be, I hadn't played it for a while. So Michael's saying, well, it wouldn't mind a bit of a story, playing Paul, meeting his mother, falling in love and encounter the Fremen and House Orders for the first time. Well, that may happen still, because Paul Atreides is not in the actual game at all. And so there is an opening there for a DLC. And same with the Mauritania, I think is the other faction that is the arch enemy of the Ikazi. So I think that there's room for adding things in. I'm thinking about Northgard. If you have a quick look at Northgard, because Northgard I think had a number of DLCs. It's just that sort of spelling there. Yeah, so Northgard came with a number of 12 different DLCs. So they actually ended up with a fair few. And so I would expect that if June does well, and Northgard did do very, very well. This is a pretty cool game. But they did actually bring in these different clans as well. And so I would imagine that Paul Atreides will come in with his own. There'll be the Atreides clan, and then there'll be the Mordib clan or something like that, I would imagine. Although they do have Chani in the Fremen one. So Chani, is the love interest of, and actually Lady Jessica, as you say, she's also, ends up being part of the Fremen group as well in the end in the book. So I'm not sure, but I would imagine that there will be DLC coming for June at some point, and I would imagine that Paul Atreides would be the first of the DLCs to come in, because that will be a big selling point. So that's my guess. I don't know. That's just my guess about what might actually happen through there. Okay, so this is saying Command and Conquer was based on Dune 2. Yep, so this is saying Dune is a mixture of feudalism, oil extraction, and spice trade. Yeah, pretty much. It's sort of there's a lot going on, and it's also subterfuge as well. There's a lot of the agents and the subterfuge in the Dune game has been changed a lot and is really quite engaging. I really like it, like in that sense. I hated the agents, for example, from the Total War series, like Total War Rome and those things. I hated those. We had to sort of walk them around the map and do different things with them. This is much more abstracted, which I really quite like in the Dune book. Sorry, in the Dune game. So my 2 cents today saying I would like to try and see you play The Sim. I'm not sure what that is. as in The Sims. I get so bored with that. I did play it when it first came out. I got so bored with The Sims. So they're saying it's a war game but more detailed. I'm not sure which one you're referring to now. So Voodoo Dog saying if this would be turn-based, it would be interesting. RTS is just boring, I find. Yeah, look, and I keep on finding that I keep on pausing to do things. It does have an active pause. I think turn-based would be good. I know what you're saying, but then I guess Northgard wasn't turn-based either, and so Northgard, as I say, was a pretty cool game. And so it's sort of you can see where Shiro Games has actually taken a lot of things from Northgard to build Dune, but it still is really, for me, true to the lore. So Tenor is saying this looks like micro hell for me. No, things are abstracted in really quite nice ways. And the pacing is good as well. I'm somebody who when I do play real-time strategy games, I tend to pause a lot anyway. But you can't have a micromanagement in a multiplayer real-time game. You just can't have it. So they abstract an awful lot. It's not overwhelming either, the way it sort of works. So the combat is not tricky. Everything is really, really, it's simplified down to being able to make very quick decisions, which I quite like. So yeah, I'm guessing you're talking about Dune, but Dune. It is set up to have abstracted mechanics, and they do work really quite nicely. Panamates says, actually, where are we going? We're going right off the top there, guys. Sorry, I'm missing a lot. So Panamates, saying I like a combat mission, feels very realistic. Broken Arrow looks more like a war game to me. It's not even that. It's too. Like from when I played it, and I don't know if it'll be changed. I did give feedback about that. I thought it was too basic. Yeah, more RTS than a war game, says Battle Mode. Yes, it's an RTS, and it's got the same problems that RTSs have, where it's just everything is simplified. So Battle Mode saying I use the capitalization carefully there. Okay. So Broken Arrow, as I say, I did play some months ago. I'm looking forward to playing it again. I am looking forward to the game, but I do find combat mission with the turn-based aspect of it for me better. So Geno is saying Fortress Italy is just an old release on Steam. Yes, sort of. With all of the combat mission games, the important thing is not so much the content, but the engine that they're using. And I'll just go and open that one up actually. So combat mission. All of the ones that have come across to, God, that's expensive. It's 74 Australian dollars, but it's a niche audience for these sorts of games. But these are so with the Fortress Italy, there's a few DLCs that have come through as well. I don't know if it's where it says what the actual engine is, but this is the latest of the actual combat mission engines. And so even though they've got the same theme, the engine has been updated time after time after time. And so, and this is where you then get the enhancements to the actual game itself. This is why it plays so realistic as well. Like is really quite realistic the way that the combat missions games do play out. I don't know if it'll tell us about the game engine itself, but that's really quite important. I'm not seeing it there. Features. No, I'm not seeing it there. It's but it is version 4 of their engine. There was another game that released which was not the latest version of the combat mission engine, and but I can't remember which game that actually was. Yeah, I can't think of which one it actually was, but I'm pretty sure this is everything has been updated and made into the latest. So even though it's an oldish game in terms of the actual title, the actual game itself is a modern adaptation of the older title. I hope that makes sense. Hi Lucid, how are you going? So Lucid's saying, Daz, so glad your channel back. Yeah, no, it was a scary couple of days. It was a scary few hours until Team YouTube got involved. And I've got to say, I felt really comfortable once they were actually because I knew I'd get it back. So it was, that was really quite cool. So Ridiculous is saying, hello, congratulations getting your channel back. Thanks for that. And Bannerman's saying, want to buy some Daz coin? Yeah, there we go. Andrew's saying, hey, Lucid. Yeah, so, and actually, if anyone does have any questions about Dom 6, then Lucid is your man to actually ask any questions about Dom 6 coming, because I think Lucid will be right on top of what's happening in through there. So Genos, in fact, Genos is saying exactly that. Saying, Genos, hey, Lucid Tactics, are you mainly a Dominions channel? First time hearing of you. Yeah, so with Lucid, is a really, really, as a bit of a shout out to what Lucid Tactics actually does do. He really gets into the nitty gritty of Dominions in a very, very detailed way, and explains things very, very well. I don't think I've ever come across any other player who really does understand the core mechanics of Dominions as well as what Lucid does. And from what Battle Mode has said, there has been, I think it's Lucid's, and I haven't had a good look at this, but Lucid has been trying to analyse as much as he can about the coming Dom 6 as well, just based on what he's been sort of seeing. So I think on your Discord server, I think, I'm not 100% sure. I don't know. I don't think you can put links in, but if you do look up Lucid Tactics on Discord, I think that would be if you're interested in Dom 6, that would be certainly a good place to sort of be heading if you're wanting that sort of information. We were saying David Lynch's Dune is one of my favourite films. I don't care what anyone says, even. So I agree with you. I thought that was a very, very good movie. I mean, he had a lot to try to squeeze into one movie, but he did a good job, I thought. Bannerman is saying Ek has turned up on Arrakis wanting to turn it into a tourist resort is completely ridiculous to the law, as Dune is the great leveller and people take it seriously. I know what you're saying about the tourist resort, and I do get you what you're saying there. That doesn't make a lot of sense, but the way that they play is that they if you think of them more as protecting the civilizations, which is true to their law, like they are a very honourable faction in the actual, from what I can understand in the books, and so what they're trying to do is actually sort of free the villagers. Is sort of how that one works. The tourist resort, I don't know why that's in there. It doesn't seem to sort of play with what it does do, but creating sanctuaries does. And that's not for tourism, that's for protecting the villages. And so you get support from those free villages that are your sanctuaries, and no one can attack them. And so there is for me it works, but I know what you're saying about the word tourist resort. I haven't seen that in my play so far with the ECAS. I've played a few different versions of it just to sort of get used to them, but it is pretty interesting, I think. But I'm saying it's ridiculous. I'm not having it. I haven't really picked on you today, Battleman. I'm not going to either today. I'm going to let these. I'm going to let your aggressive stance just stand. I'm not even going to challenge it. So, hi Tarank, saying the chat is here, so the world is right again. Yes, absolutely. So, now it says, Battlemate saying, June brought even the most powerful houses to their knees. And again, that's sort of modelled, the way that the things actually sort of do work. Lucy's saying, yeah, mostly Dominions. Played a few games with Daz and that, hoping the Dominions off, hoping he Dominions off when 6 comes out. Yes. No, I'm really looking forward to it, actually. Really looking forward to it. So I would be very interested in I think at one point Ben was actually suggesting that we try to get together and do a podcast. So I'd love to get your perspective on Dom 6 actually at some point. That would be pretty cool. Genos is saying thanks. I was really enjoying the old Daz multiplayer game. I think on Dom 4. Maybe I'll check you out. Surprisingly fun. Yeah. See, Lucid came into the last series that we did with Dom 5. and I happened to be the next door neighbour, and I was scared shitless of him. So it was really quite funny. So it's a surprisingly fun game to follow long MP matches on. The multiplayer in Dominions is pretty exceptional, but it's very, very involved. So hi, A.S. Russell. Tenor is saying, is it similar to Endless Legend? As in June? No, it's not really. Endless Legend is turn-based to a large. Well, basically, it is a turn-based game to a large degree when you get into combat, etc. And this one is not. It's the combat is more simplistic than it's a bit like comparing what was it we were just looking at before, Broken Arrow versus Combat Mission. You have an abstracted combat system that looks great. Dune has got an abstracted combat system as well because it's real time and it's multiplayer real time. So the game is designed to be able to be played, effectively without pausing it. And I can see that it's geared that way. I don't like playing games that way. I would never play it multiplayer, but it has been built that way. So Michael Dross is saying, so it's all about taking new land with combat. Would have liked some of the story put in there somewhere. Well, it is not the story, but the actual feel of the houses. Like House Harkonnen is all about domination of the locals, about sort of exploitation and what they do, more aggressive military. House Atreides is about taking things over diplomatically rather than through combat. Things like this. So there's a lot of different ways of playing the game, depending on which faction you do play. So they do play very, very differently and true to the lore of their houses, but not as a snapshot in time moving forward with the actual game itself. What was the game saying? Glad to see you back, and thanks for the detailed update on what happened to your channel. Useful for other creators. Yes, it's I wasn't going to do that, but as I got started, I then just started talking about what the process was, and I was very impressed with Team YouTube. I'm glad I stumbled across that was the way to do it. Okay, so saying seems that the chat is 4 or 5 minutes behind. Yeah, it is. Now, I'm just going to have to skip forward a little bit. So I'm just going to skip past. Yep. So and Genos is just asking if Drexy's part of the Explorminate channel, and yes, he is. So X101 is Drexy. Genos is saying, got it. I knew I'd heard the lore at some point. So Drexy's then just saying, got a soft spot for the DL June. I'm not sure what DL June is. I was pretty young when I saw it, and it got me into the books. Okay, so that film is wild. Okay, so you guys are talking about the old June. Let's just skip forward a little bit. Right, let's just start to go back in. So Rocco is then saying, hey, hi Harkonnen, are you prepared to die? There we go. Right, so let's go back to the list of things we've done one. I think we started off with June Spice Wars. DF Hack has also just released a big stable version. This is 50.09 revision 4, and this looks very, very good as well, I've got to say. They've got now a different way, and also Dwarf Fortress itself has just had a big update as well. So there's two different things happening in through there. Let's go to Dwarf Fortress first. Will it show it? There it is. So beta patch has just come in for this one here. So they've got a whole lot of new stuff that's come back in, and so they've done things. For example, like we've had an update to the beta branch for some of the new requested fixes, including the ability to view all alerts and a fix for Archer ammo, which is really, really cool. That was actually something that I don't know if I've recorded a video, but I was going to record a video on how to fix that. But anyway, don't have to now. It's already been done. You can look at the old alerts now, which is good because that was annoying that they would all disappear. You can now also view combat history from a creature's sheet and advance through it one step at a time if a combat is active. I can't wait to test this out. I did actually open it up, but I didn't have time to actually sort of get into combat. Ammo should work if you make custom uniforms for archers now. Soldiers shouldn't hoard rotten food in their rooms. Lots of crash fixes and some optimization. There's also a potential fix for dwarves being stuck in trees, but it needs more testing to see how effective it is. I keep them out of trees anyway. All of the following updates are going to be on beta first, so we can figure out what kind of problems will arise before we move over to the main branch. Now, do I have that on beta? I think I do. I think I'm playing the beta version. Dwarf Fortress. Oops. Come on, come on, come on. Where are you? Where are you? There it is. No, it's not. So, properties, betas, and beta public branch in through there. I think that's the one that we go with. So let's just, I shouldn't have downloaded that one. This is version 50.10. Yeah. So I should always keep it on these actually. How big is this one? Hopefully not too big. I'll just pause that. All right, so that's that one there. So Dwarf Fortress, yeah, some changes coming there. Still not the door smashers. DF Hack has also now had a big release. If we have a quick look at this one through here, I'll just skip straight through to the pretty pictures. What they've now got is you can actually now, when you're starting to sort of try to put together a military group, it's now got ways of actually filtering the military so that you can actually, or filtering the characters that can then be assigned. This is quite useful as a helper for sort of building up your military. So you can actually sort of do and search and sort by all sorts of different parameters. Also, so they've got like a little number that now appears next to the actual characters to see how useful they are based on what you've actually set up in through here. So in this case, melee effectiveness is what they're actually sorting by. 58, we've got one up through the top there. You've got all these other different filters, like, you know, whether they're critically injured, weak mental fortitude, etc., etc. Mothers with infants, which was always something that I used to, when I was min-maxing the game, would always be trying to avoid. I no longer really worry about it because it's sort of fun now to do it that way. But anyway, you've got these now as part of your DF hack. This one here, if there is actually a mood problem, so units now have, yeah, I don't know if it shows there, yeah, the need for training. Some of your units actually have a need to be trained as one of their base needs, and you can now turn that one on and see just how unhappy they are. So you can actually then form a military group so that they can actually get their training through the military that way. So you can actually, it just helps you manage your dwarves a bit better. Different ways, the ASCII has now been changed a little bit as well, which I won't worry about. Heaps of other little changes. Now, version 3 came out a few days before that one, so revision 3. This one has more of the, this one's got hiding the tutorials, which is good. I'm going to definitely turn that one on. This is the version 1 of that squad assignment that we sort of saw through there. We don't need to look at that one. Animal assignments have now been looked at a lot more deeply. DF Hack is incredible. Like, it's so easy to install it. It's definitely worth playing. Yeah, so this is all to do with actually trade depots. Yeah, move goods to and from the trade depot. This is really quite cool, actually. Yeah, so this is it's a lot of love has been going into DF Hack to make the base game so much better. I really can't play Dwarf Fortress without DF Hack. It is just amazing. Let's go back. So we've done Dwarf Fortress. Ask Me Anything with Chris Alderley from Kerbal Space Program 2. I'm so disappointed with Kerbal Space Program. I mean, I'm looking forward to when it is finally good, but it's so far off. Okay, quick sprints is saying, how about a guide video for DF Hack? There's something coming. I've actually done one on how to install it. And from there, it's just so big that there's a lot to do. I have got like I was going to be doing a weekly Dwarf Fortress series, but there was hardly anyone watching it, so I don't know if I'm going to continue that one. I might have a look at that again. I haven't looked at the actual numbers there for a while. Bubo's saying, yes, Daz just pronounced Harkonnen correctly. Did I? Do I normally say it incorrectly? Now, what did we get up to with the comments? So, have you talked about the tease from Paradox? I'm not sure what you mean by that one. I didn't see the Paradox tease. Not sure where that one is. I don't know. I know of a game that's coming that I'm not allowed to talk about. so I won't. But there is, so I'm not sure if that's what you're referring to. I don't know what, so I better not say much. So anyway, we've got the Watcher update has gone to version 1.2. So this one here has, which I haven't had a look at this at all, to be honest. So I'm assuming it's just going to be bug fix type things. There's not that much there actually. So they're really not doing too much with the with this just yet. Actually, why is this way up in here? This is it in here. I haven't had a close look at this one, but I still love playing the game. But the development has slowed down while they get the next DLC ready. So Battleman's saying something big coming from Paradox. Let's have a look and see if we can find that on their website. Paradox Interactive. Let's see, it should be on the front page, I would guess. Okay, I've got City Skylines 2. I did see about this one. But is that the one? Is that the only one that they've got? Oh, there's Star Trek Infinite. Okay. Not sure when that one's going to come. That one does look interesting. Actually, that would be cool, actually. That would be very, very cool. But I'm not sure if any of these are what you're referring to. I'm not sure if it's the City Skyline 2, that one that you're referring to there. Oh, okay, so Joe's saying Paradox posted a teaser on Twitter. So, in that case, on X, Twitter X. Blood Bowl. I never use this. I mean, I had to when I was doing stuff. Now, can I search? Is this it here? Pretty much on a journey through the annals of history. Okay, I'm not allowed to talk about this one. I know what this is. I am not allowed to talk about it, so I'm not going to. I didn't realise that they were actually announcing stuff already. So I'm just going to zip my mouth and that's the end of it. So, but I do know what that is. So, yeah, anyway, I won't say anything. Okay, so have you looked at Going Medieval? No, we haven't got to that one yet. So let's just go back to the list. Okay, sorry guys. I wondered if that was. I didn't think it was close to being ready yet. So I don't know if it's just an announcement. But anyway, I'm not going to say anything about it. Field of Glory 2. Now this is there is more content coming, I believe, like a different version of the game, but I don't know what that's going to be. Rocco of the Desert saying, "Fine, keep your secrets." So, and Jamison saying, "Daz, you can talk about it. NDAs are just a technicality." No, it's no, I can't talk about it. So season 46 is here for the marbles, so we'll play that one in a little while. Now we've got Spotlight. I don't know what this is doing in here. Like the Imperium's Greek Wars. I don't know if this is actually just a. Yeah, it looks like it's just a bit of information. It's not really anything. I don't think it's really got any big changes that have come into the game in recent times. Yeah, this one's coming, Imperium's Rise of Caesar. Okay, so this is more just for the next version of Imperium's. I've got to say, I didn't love the last version of it. I just couldn't get into it once you sort of got to the mid-game. Dwarf Fortress, you can sort of see there, I think Tarn got COVID or something. We've spoken about Dune Spice Wars. Panzer Corps 2 has got a new DLC coming as well. I've got to play this and do some recordings on Panzer Corps 2. This is an exceptionally good game, and it's a game that I think that you guys would like. It's a very, very nice war game with good procedural generation as well. Now, we've spoken about Dwarf Fortress. We've done that one. Distant Worlds 2. Now, I think this came while I was away. So we've got the Quimino and Gizareans. I've been playing so much of it over the previous months that I sort of forget that it has only just literally come out. This is a really good addition to the actual game itself. If we just go back in and have a look at this. Where are we? This is just Distant Worlds 2. I'll just go to the store page. I can't believe this only gets mixed. I really can't believe this. 58%. That is just crazy. It's such a good game. If we go to Quimino and Gizareans, this is positive 100%, of the 23 reviews. And it deserves that. It's a really, really good addition. As the Daots were as well, but they both factions play very, very well. So anyway, that's sort of what's happening in there. So that one did release a couple of weeks ago. Definitely worth picking up if you're into Distant Worlds 2. I just can't believe the scores that Distant Worlds 2 gets. I can only put it down to the fact that I think that people just don't know how to approach it. You don't approach Distant Worlds as a game. You approach it as a simulation. So it's sort of funny in that regard. Going medieval, we haven't had a look at this one yet. So this is Medieval Monday. So okay, this looks like it's just information back in here. I haven't played this for a long time either. Actually, I should actually play this again. Water will not be able to pass through walls, floors, and roofs now, since these elements have variations. Okay, I won't worry too much about what that's doing through there. That's interesting. So this must be the old way, or is it the new way? Oh no, that's solid doors. And then open doors by the looks of things, like with grids and things. Things that don't block water above and things that block water below. Okay, that's pretty interesting. Again, I've got to play this game again. This was a very, very good game. And it just got better and better. Yes, it's early September as well. So yeah, I just haven't got into that one much at all. So where are we up to? I'll just bypass all of the things about the secrets. So Batman was saying with Distant Worlds 2, I think the poor buggy release kind of annoyed people. It's not that way anymore. It's really and I never had the problem with, but it's such a good game, just so good. So yeah, it's a simulation where your mind steel. Says Voodoo Dog. Those sorts of little things I think do need to be addressed. It is a bit of a problem where, if you don't manage that aspect, you do get caught mining steel for a long period of time. But I've been seeing now there are just a lot of people who don't give it a second chance. So I gave up arguing with them that it's improved. They just don't want to know. Yeah, it's sort of funny actually. I do it's such a good game to play. Gloomhaven, major update, new features. I've tried to contact these. Actually, we've got Xenonauts 2. There's another small version coming here, but it's still not complete from what I can understand. So I'm just going to leave that one until they do a bit more work. Gloomhaven, they did have a DLC, so I've tried approaching them some time ago because I've covered the base game, but I haven't covered the additional bits to it. Angry Face, what's all this? Okay, so these are just obscured, but anyway, that's again a pretty cool game, sort of based on a board game. Then we've got Against the Storm as well, which is that's actually got. We just released a hotfix that deals with the reported issues that should help with crashes on Linux. Okay, so this is actually Hauler Station update. Not sure when the big update is or has been released. Against the Storm Ancient Seals. Is this the one? It may have come when I was away, I think. Hot off the heels of the Sealed Forest release. Okay, so it did release. When did that release? I'm definitely going to have to play this again as well. There's so much that was changed in this. Yeah, September the 1st. Yeah, so I would have just been heading off when that one released. Yeah, so that's, and it was a little bit awkward when they first did it, but they are sort of now just adding more and more content. Such a good city builder, that one. Anyway, guys, we're sort of at the time, I think, where we need to actually go and do a marble run. So there is no game today. I'm back. I'm glad we didn't miss the drawing. Yes, well, there's no games as such, but we do have the marble run. So Gyrox is saying, I bought the Distant Worlds 2 DLC. I can't play it anymore. It keeps crashing. It needs a patch. Oh, okay. I haven't had that same problem. So actually, one thing I haven't done is, if you've got the press version, which this is the version before it was actually released. So I don't want to be playing that one anymore. Actually, where is it? Just go to betas, and we'll just go to the latest beta, which is this one here. So I'll get that one queued up as well. So that way at least I'll be playing with the latest version of the game. Right, well, yeah, and actually Joe's is sort of saying Against the Storm is amazing. Yeah, it really is incredible. So Jemison saying, Daz or Chat, did you ever play a game called Vagrus, the Riven Realms? It's a caravan management game, and I'm hesitant to buy it. I've only heard good things about it, to be honest. I haven't played it myself, but I have heard a lot about it. But I haven't actually played it. No NordVPN giveaway, no. No, unfortunately not. And no channel sponsorship for the for these sessions either. Anyway, let's get back into. Let's go now, and we've done all the bits and pieces. So I think we've gone through everything. I feel like I'm missing a game that I should have spoken about. Yeah, I feel like I should have spoken about one of the games. Which one is it? I think Master of Magic has had some more updates as well in the meantime, and that's a really, really fun game at the moment to play. Just let me look at a few of the others that are back up and through here. No, I can't sort of see anything much there. Anyway, let's just get the Marbles game ready to go. So what I'm just going to do is, actually before I do that, just go back into here, go to Nightbot, log in. Is it going to log in automatically? Oh, sorry guys, I'm just going to pop that off the other screen. Yep, so I had to stop all these things, of course. All right, we're back in here. Good. So we'll just go do this one here. So what we'll do is for the giveaways, keyword, and the keyword just to be in it will be brag. So B-R-A-G. I'll just make it lowercase. Brag. In fact, it won't really matter what you do. If you just type anything in the chat, I'm going to put you in it. So I'll just let you guys start to sort of put your name in there, and I'll just get everything else ready for Marble Run. So brag is the word. We'll get it going. There we go. So they're starting to come in now. But you can type anything at all, and I'll just accept it. Let it go for a little bit longer while we just get this one set up. Now we're going to do the Grand Prix yet again. We're going to do, let's do 4 maps today to celebrate getting back on again. We had 48 last time. We had a lot last time. That was pretty cool. It's going to be a simulation. And then the settings. We'll just go to add names. Clear all of those. back into here. Okay, so we'll just go and grab everything. So we got Guy Bellaby was the last one. It looks like Tenru was the last one to write brag. Down to Voodoo Dog at the bottom there. There we go. So good luck, guys. This is only for bragging rights. There's no giveaway today, unfortunately. Except for Daz coins. So yeah, we'll do a Daz coin giveaway. A Daz what are they called? FT. What are they? Whatever they are. Anyway, I forget what they're called. Yeah. Anyway, those crypto things. Marvel VPN. Now, sorry, just going to go back into this one. Add them in. Only 27 today. Okay, so not very many. We'll just go across into the find and replace. Do that one through there. NFTs, there we go, yeah. Okay, we'll just save this, only 27. I'll put myself in there as well. So 28. All right, there we go. So, Tenru saying I played Vagrant and liked the game and the art of the game, but I hated the economic part. It just wasn't recording. I barely made any profit just to save my caravan, which made me give up on it in the end. There we go. Yeah, that's good to get that sort of information. We've got simulation. Just going to get rid of that. Why can't I press race? All done. 28. What have I done wrong? What have I done wrong here? Quick Grand Prix, maybe? Are these all the... Have we got everyone named? Yeah, looks like we do. Alright, so we'll just start the race and see what happens here. Good luck, guys. Here we go. So off the roofs. There we go. So we've got Michael, Andrew. Actually, Reed is, it looks like he's in the lead by a fair way. They'll come out of this shoot, ultimately. So Rifler 24. Coming back down through this side, Phobies, Reed coming in after that one. Looks fairly secure, so Rifler is in front. And you have to get through the forest. Whoa, nice leap. And Reed got straight through there. Battle mode on the other side. So we've got Reed, we've got somebody else which we can't quite see. Don't know whose that one is in the middle there. The battle mode's just passed anyway. So Reed coming through, going to do the loop. Nobody has fallen off this particular one. Straight through. We've got Mike, Tenru, Rifler, Andrew as well. So Mike is now coming second. So actually, where's Reed gone? Come off the. Did it fall off the actual map? We've got a few that have now fallen off. Just wait for somebody to come back down in through this other side. There we go. There's one out in front. I don't know who that is. I think someone's been ripped off there. I'm glad we don't actually have a real giveaway. I think that's Reed. Not seeing the others. We'll see if it picks it up at the back end here. So there's one, yeah, because Mike is not the leader. It's whoever that, oh no, he is the leader now. So we'll see who comes in second. Oh no, who's going to come in first? No, Mike's, nope. Here we go. Yep, so the unknown Reed is, I think, out in front and is going to go in first. That's weird. Okay, Rifler missed. Mike's in. I don't know what happened there, Reed. That should have been you. That is a bug. Well, I'm glad we don't actually have a giveaway. Because that would be a restart, I think. Because I don't know where you came in the list there. We'll see what actually happens when the race is all done and dusted and finished. Just waiting on Guy Bellaby to. Oh no, he's skipped ahead of the others. We've got a few of the a few of the others are caught back in here. So Brendan Peach right way at the back through here. And Marco as well, just coming through. So a few fell off. There we go. Yeah, well, Mike, you got the rating for that one, but you weren't the one. See the final results. I'll just see if we can see where Reed actually ended up. It says you fell off. I didn't see you fall off. Anyway, I'm not sure what's happened there. Okay, let's go. So we've got 4 races. Let's go to the next map. Next one is the Fear of Heights. All right, good luck again, guys. Here we go. Up you go. God, how am I going to keep track of all this? Okay, everyone's just heading down this area. Okay, we're in front of them now. So Michael Druss, we've got Danny Yegg, Voodoo Dog, Quiet Sprints, Sithel, etc., etc. This one won't take too long, I don't think. Michael's out in front. So Danny Yegg catching up. Sithel as well. They're all in the one track. CB on the other track on the other side. Now, could you fall off here? Not really. You do get a bit of a boost depending on where you fall. No, Brendan's gone. Brendan's the first one to miss. Danny Yegg out in front now. Miguel Ramos has now fallen off, and Bubo as well. So Danny Yegg now coming back through. Are you going to miss this one? Not yet. Not yet. So Danny Yegg doing well here. Going through the loop. Nobody else has fallen off just yet. There's the first of them. Yeah, Danny Yegg's still out in front. Michael Dross coming in second. Phobius coming in third. Vex coming in fourth. Straight through, and oh, I thought you were over there. I thought you'd been knocked off the map. So Phobius is now coming through. Guy Bellaby's gone. He's just exploded on the ground there. Vex, JOs. Actually, maybe you were. Here we go. So Phobius wins this one. Vex coming in second. Jamison coming in third, with Joes coming in fourth. And then all the others. Wow, Danny ended up way back there and coming in. Was leading at one stage. You're going to still get caught in here, I think. Oh no, you're through there, but not through there. We could be waiting here for quite some time. Oh, come on. Oh, there we go. There we go. We're through. We're through. Just waiting on the straggler. Everyone else is in the box. Okay, we'll wait for this one. And that is part 2 done. So there we go. A few of them didn't finish at the bottom end there. A fair few. All right, next race. It's the third one, the funnel. Sounds interesting. And good luck again. Now it looks like it's Mark out in front. It's going to be interesting to see who actually gets through this one. Marco coming in front, I think. Yeah, Marco's the deepest one down into the funnel itself. There he is. There he is. He's out. I'll just get, say, the third place and just have a bit of a look from this perspective. We've got a few now in front there. Marco a fair way out in front there. So we're going to come around this loop. We're catching up. We are catching up. Oops. So another big funnel at the back end here. Okay, so we've got Marco still miles out in front. AS Russell coming third. I'm coming, coming second. I'm coming third. Straight through there. So I've now hit the, I know, just vying for second place. Now this one here, what do we need to do in this one? Just get through. Might just bypass. So Bubo has actually come straight out. Reed is coming in. Voodoo Dog. Battle Mode, Lucia. Vex, then me. So he's going to go down here first. Looks like Reed has got the lowest run there. No, Michael Duss is back in there again. Let's have another look. Whoops, where are we? Just get back on the outside of this. Yeah, Michael's through. Actually, Reed is... yeah, so Michael's now come back through, hit the bottom area here. A fair way out in front now of everyone else. Reed is coming in second. But I don't think there's any impediment now to getting straight through. So Michael should have this one. And then Guy coming in third. Then with Tenru, Geno's, Vex, Marco, Battle Mode, Bubo, etc., etc. So we've now everyone shouldn't be too far back up and through here. So Jennison is just coming in last. All right, one more race to go. Okay, so yeah, Michael got that one through that side. Next map, last map. See who wins. Eye of the Storm. This sounds like we're going to be missing some people here. Now, there's a question: Can you build your own tracks in Marble Run? I actually don't know. That's a good idea. I would imagine you should be able to. Actually, I never thought of that, because they look like they're community-driven maps. They don't look like, a lot of them don't look like they're official. Let's just get in amongst the mix of all of this. See who ends up going down the slide first. There we go. I've got a few now heading down that way. So here's the Marco is out in front. He's going to get through. Okay, it looks like it's actually I've hit the lead. I'm miles out in front there. No, here comes Michael. It's a whole bunch together. Yep, no, I think I'm still in the lead there. Yeah, I've already head off. I'm miles out in front of the others. Here comes Geno's being behind. Straight across. Now, are we going to miss? Yep, I'm down. I'm gone. So I think it's Geno's might be the next one. Actually, no, Mike is. Mike is so close to winning this one now. Viren Games coming through. Geno's is coming through as well. And Mike, you are the winner of this last race. I think it's 2 that you've won, isn't it? Yeah, Viren Games has now come in second. Vex is coming in third. No, Danny Egg has now just taken over that, and Reed has come in as well. Sithil coming in, actually in front of Reed. AS Russell coming in as well. Andrew Ryan. Yep, so there's only a handful of people to finish now. With Battle Mode being the last finisher as such. There's going to be a fair few that didn't actually make it through this particular one. All right, let's see what actually happens here. And we'll go and finish the Grand Prix and see who gets to win. There's a lot of not finishes. So we'll finish the Grand Prix. So here we go. Who wins? Okay, so third place is Phobius. Congratulations. Second place is Michael Duss. And the first place is Mike Gillespie with 2 wins, I think. I think it was 2 wins there. Yeah, 2 wins. Wow. Okay, miles out in front. So, and then the other 2 winners came in back in for second and third. Well, guys, I'm going to have to leave it here. So thanks for watching, and thanks for sticking with the channel and all that through this very trying week. We'll be back on Twitch tomorrow, absolutely, at my normal time. And I may be there today, but I don't know. I've got a lot to do today, so I'll have to see how we go. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. If I am going to be on Twitch, it'll probably be within a couple of hours, I would guess, and maybe just for a shortish period, maybe a couple of hours as well. I've got to go somewhere in the I've got to be somewhere in about 6 hours' time, so that's pretty much my timing. But thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next week.